arcade gamers, this is Daniel, back again with Biggie D's Arcade, and I want to welcome you back to my channel today. I'm doing something new called the Recap and Analysis, and this is basically just going over information that I've gathered over the last few days and just kind of breaking it down, giving you the important parts of it, and then giving you my analysis or my opinion on what I think is happening with that new information. So the first thing I want to get into is, and I have not spoken much on this cabinet yet, but there's been a lot of interest in this one early on. This is one that Arcade1up has really been promoting as one of the limited runs where you can only get it through them, and it's going to be very difficult to get. However, the pre-orders did start today, and on the Arcade1up website, their official website to go to. They only had it for a few seconds and it was sold out. No one could get it. Well, then shortly after that, Biggie D did let the Reddit forums know that Best Buy had a pre-order right at that 12:02, 12:03 mark Eastern time. And then there were, potentially hundreds of people that were then able to pre-order at that time that were interested. And then many of them had a coupon code that was posted there that saved them 10% off the pre-order. So they were able to purchase their cabinets today for less than $540 with free shipping and a very generous return policy. So that was a great thing to see. It then sold out, but it reopened and it continued throughout the rest of the day. It wasn't until probably 4 or 5 o'clock that they quit taking the pre-orders. And then also Target reopened theirs today, so a bunch of people were able to place theirs throughout the afternoon. So pretty much everyone got the pre-order that they wanted if they were interested. Some even maybe got caught up in the hype from these pre-orders being limited and ended up just purchasing theirs today. So this is a good one. I definitely wanted to get it today. I could have done it at the 540. But I decided not to because I don't have the room, and I don't want to try and make room right now for it either at this time. I would rather wait and see what happens. I think maybe we could get a Black Friday deal or some deal at the end of the this year, maybe early 2023. So we'll just have to wait and see. But right now you can get it for $5.99 pre-order. Those have ended, but I'm sure they're going to come around again if you'd like to get one. But another thing I'd noticed today, which was some really big news, something I had not seen or heard about or had answers on, was this Street Fighter Yoga Edition, Yoga Flame Edition by Arcade1up. It was speculated on what the price was going to be. We didn't know, and we didn't really have any details on it. We just had a picture leak that came out about a week or so ago. Well, they purchased one today for us. And they confirmed the price. It's $379. So you're saving $121, and all you're missing is the riser, which you could buy a generic one for $50 there, or you can make your own, which is taller, or with the label or design logos, skin that you want on those. So it gives you that option to do those types of things and save quite a bit of money in the same time. We still don't have a confirmed fact on the marquee, so it could be lit, it may be not, and we won't know that until they build this thing, which should be this evening. But I'm interested to see. Something else that was even bigger than that was they purchased an NFL Blitz cabinet today as well. So check out Kongs R Us and Console Kits. They purchased them. They're going to be building them and giving us some information on them here in the next few days. But I think that's great. What it's done, though, it's opened the opportunity for like these types of cabinets here, the Simpsons, to be sold for $100 at a Walmart. So be on the lookout close by. You could probably save a lot of money on like the MK2 Legacy, Street Fighter 2 Legacy with no lit marquee. Those are probably going to be sold for $75, $50 here coming up. So just be on the lookout for these. Basically, they're just trying to get rid of them. And that could be at any Walmart in the U.S. Another thing to point out, too, are these Blitz stools. You can get them for $99 now at Best Buy, or you can go through this retailer here called Shop Hippo, and they sell them for all the NFL teams for the same price, so you can get your team on it. However, we've heard from some people that their team was not represented, and they were not able to purchase like New York Jets. So be on the lookout to see if your team is included, before you purchase, which I'm sure you'll find out when you get to their website. So those are just a couple of hiccups on the Arcade1up front, but that's normal, nothing new really. But that's okay. These are good things. Some of them, especially the deals at Walmart, clearing out that inventory, that's really good news. But I did want to get into more positive things, things that I took from John D's interviews on a couple of channels, one being the Mike of All Trades. He was doing a podcast with John D for an hour and a half, asking him a bunch of questions. This would have been on the 6th, so just 2 days ago. And then the next day he was on a Your Average Gamers channel for like 2 hours answering questions. So there's just been so much now that we're able to confirm and talk about. But the first thing I wanted to do was cover what I think is happening with the Arcade1up going forward. And that is, and this is whether they admit it or not, there's going to be a time coming up where they're going to run into a limitation where people's homes are already full of arcades. They've already purchased 10, 15, 20 Arcade1ups, and they don't have any more room to buy more. And they're not necessarily going to want to sell these to make more room. So that's going to limit your ability to sell the new machines like the ones we're seeing, Marvel vs. Capcom and Blitz. So what I was thinking is, and I think a lot of the rest of the community has been asking about, because I've seen it in the chats, is are you going to sell the PCB board where you can simply just remove the back of your Arcade1up, unscrew the old board, put the new one on, and you have an entirely new game lineup. And you kind of answered that for us. You said that unless you're going to pay $400 for that, they're not likely even going to consider it, or your company won't. But I do think there's a big demand for that. And if there's a way to make that a possibility, I think that really kind of extends your ability to sell more cabinets or more, games moving forward. I know you mentioned as well there are going to possibly be, and I think would be a great idea in the future, are digital downloads. So getting an update on your Arcade1up, as long as it's online capable, and downloading additional games at a certain cost. You said you didn't know if you guys would be able to make money doing that early on right now, but if you're able to achieve that, I think that would be a really great thing for everyone, and something everyone would be asking for from your company. But something else I wanted to cover are some really good points that you covered or what John D covered on the Your Average Gamer channel yesterday, which would have been the 7th. And that was the fact that, Marvel vs. Capcom is not going to be sold at Walmarts without the riser. So commonly we've been seeing, even with the Street Fighter today, that they're being sold without risers for a lot less. And there was a lot of questioning and people speculating on whether or not Walmart was going to get that treatment with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And you had said on that that probably was not going to happen, that on his channel, that it's not happening. So I'll be very interested to find out if it does, because if it does, then we just aren't getting accurate information. If it doesn't, then that's not good. That's a big popular franchise and a game that I think everyone would want. You did do the X-Men versus Street Fighter. Arcade1up did that and sold that at Walmart's. And I think those did really well, and that was a good way to get that cabinet and be able to play online with those games. So I think you should continue to do that and not offer the riser. Let people do that on their own and save that money. That will increase sales. Another thing, he went over some really important facts on how well or how successful that they've been to this point. So John D. did state that they've sold 3 million cabinets since they've opened their doors. So if you think about that, 3 million homes have at least one Arcade1up in their home. So that's just a big milestone right there. He also said there's some solid information on the KI Pro. So I thought this was just like some of the best, clear, precise information we wanted to give us our reasoning on should we purchase the 3/4 or should we be purchasing the Pro KI. And that was that the only reason we're not getting the Pro right now is there's a 19-inch screen and they're trying to source the BOE monitor. So there's the monitor within the arcade. That everyone wants the BOE. It gives you the clear picture all the way from the left to the right of the screen. And that BOE is 19 inches, which they have not used yet, and they're trying to source that product for the customers. So that's an extremely good thing to see from this business and from this company, to be listening and just trying to make their product better from the mistakes they've made in the past. So I think that the KI Pro is going to be really big, and you shouldn't have to wait long. It doesn't sound like it's much longer before you're going to be able to purchase that. But if you're wanting the 3/4, you could probably get a really good deal on that whenever the Pro comes out. And then he also was something interesting. So At Games has released a micro pinball machine which plays your pinball games in micro form, something you can put on a table. Well, Arcade1up is evidently considering the same business model, and they're going to purchase, and what they're hoping to purchase are smaller micro versions of the 3/4 scale. So the Attack from Mars, the Marvel, the Star Wars, getting a smaller version of that for a tabletop, which would allow a more lower priced entry point for the Arcade1up pinball. So I think that's great. They're innovating in that way, and I think that will be a big one. I think everyone can afford a little and have room for a small pinball machine like that if it's a good price and you're getting a good product. Another exciting thing I wanted to cover in this last bit of the video was the Robocop. So I did a gameplay video early on in my channel just a few weeks ago of Robocop 2 gameplay. It had like almost 400 views. And I think there's a lot of interest in the Robocop brand and the Robocop Arcade1up cabinet. And he's very interested in it. He gave that game a rating of 7 out of 10. He said the game was very cool and the graphics look a lot like Robocop, so I was extremely happy to hear that. He did say that there's some licensing issues involved in that one. Universal and Data East. So Universal owns the license. Data East owns the IP, I believe, is what he stated. And he was also wanting to know what other games could we get. So, there's, I guess, with that being wrapped up in those types of licensing issues and conflicting two companies over one brand, that there could be problems with that one and finding other games to go along with it. And he didn't want to release it just like a Terminator 2 with just one game. He wants to find a big lineup. But that one's definitely coming down the pipeline and something we'll be getting in the future, it sounds like. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up, guys. I didn't have much else to cover in this other than those, and I wanted to make it more compact where you could get that information quickly. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I'm going to be doing another gameplay coming up, so make sure to comment on that and let me know what you think of what I should be playing in the next gameplay video. And hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you this weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.